Hello and welcome. It's time to refurbish this lovely old English make record number 52. Hopefully you will join me in the journey of refurbishing this nice old school vise. When I bought the house 5 years ago, it was attached to my or someone's old bench, and the bench was in really desired state, and it was time to demolish it and recycle. Unfortunately, it took me another 4.5–5 years to get around to build my own workbench. So actually, what you can see underneath the vise is part of the new workbench that hopefully in the next few months will become my main workbench. WD-40 came handy very often. Actually, I used it on most of the connections to undo the bolts. Some are stubborn. On that occasion I thought that I might be able to take into smaller bits the handle, but down the line I decided against it, so I just kept it as it is. And that's the reason why it didn't want to come out freely and easily. It has been bent quite substantially. That's interesting how it has been abused in the past device to bend the bolt so badly. Anyway, moving on. In the grand scheme I expected that the device will be much more corroded and it will be in a worse shape after so many years of sitting around in quite damp environment. Unfortunately, my shed is rather wet and damp across most of the year. That's welcome to UK. And I expected more corrosion, but in the grand scheme it was not that bad. Again, help of WD-40 solves some of the issues. Somehow I forgot to use any protection on the surface of the workbench. It just got more and more filthy and messy down the line. And to be fair, a pair of gloves would be handy just to keep my hands half clean, if possible at least. That is quite an odd square nut head. First time I came across this one. I opted for mechanical cleanup. I didn't use chemicals, at least not too many, but I thought I will get rid of the majority of the residue build up just by using wire brush. A round wire brush attachment came really handy, and it did really good job cleaning up the knob of this handle, so happy days, it made good progress. During the process of tidying up, I just wanted to leave patina where possible, just to leave the character of the tool. Yes, could I have made it new one or ordered a new one? Yes, I could, but it would not be the same. It's nearly 100-year-old, so I just thought let's keep it as it is. Luna is always a good company and a good distraction. Sometimes it's just nice to have a few seconds, few minutes break, and she's always coming, smiling, wiggling her tail, and happy just to be around. This part was a bit of a pain in the backside to clean it up. It was quite hard to reach inside in all the nooks and crannies. At this stage, I was quite keen to keep the round heads of the main rods nicely polished and unpainted as a final finish. However, the quality of the product was quite poor in terms of the presentation, and the edges were rough, and even after sanding this off using the grinder, the roundness was not there, and I just thought, no, it's not worth the headache. But anyway, I managed somehow to spend quite a few minutes trying to sand it off and just make it nice and polished, but it was not worth the headache overall. Somehow it's not emerald green jaguar color, it's more blue unless I'm colorblind, but anyway it was, let's say, acceptable and it will do the job, and I actually like the color, so it's fine. But next projects I will be using definitely a green mix, and they have sent me a replacement, so hopefully the next mix will be the correct green. Sunny. Hey. Maciek, thank you for the knife. It's really handy. Ta. I have used on this occasion 3 polishing compounds and 3 different wheels with different level of abrasion, and I wanted to retain the patina and the battle scars on the shaft and provide a new sheen to overall handle. I want to make a template that will go around the jaws of the vise. English plain platanus never stops amazing me how beautiful the wood grain is, and each face of the slab is just having different wood grain, and I just love the patterns. So it will nicely complement the vise and the worktop. As you can see, the board is quite bowed, cupped, so hopefully by using the jointer I will be able to eliminate this and just make it nice and flat. Again, a little bit of lubrication should make the job a little bit easier. Somehow I managed to cook it up anyway, and from fairly square chunk of wood I managed to make it a bit tapered. Clearly I did apply pressure, more pressure on one's edge side, and because of this I just got a nice wedge. As you can see now, what a plonker I am. Luckily thicknesser managed to erase my mistake, and now I have a nice flat board. What's interesting, thank you Alam1894, I will leave a link to your YouTube channel, provided this lovely photo and comparison of different record vices across the years, and thanks to you I was able to identify that mine is made in 1930s. So a little bit of information. Thank you very much. Cheers. I should have paid a little bit more attention to the drilling bit and just try to make it bang on vertical. I had a little bit of a problem with bolt alignment down the line, so it just took me a little bit to make it work. So next time if I will be doing the same exercise, I would be trying to drill it spot on vertical. It would make life so much easier. In the process of restoration, I did not address the issue of old threads in the plate. I didn't have imperial set to play with it, so I had to use a little bit of grease and brute force just to ensure that the bolts will go in nicely. I had the other 2 bolts spare, or actually 1 spare bolt to make it happen, and a little bit of a brute force solved the issue. And now I'm trying to level board with the top of the worktop. Actually, I want it to be just a fraction of a millimeter lower so that it will have a nice clearance. And of course I had to add a gentle roundover. I think it was a 3 or 6 mil radius roundover just to soften up, and obviously a little bit of sanding, but I will spare you this lovely activity. So just a little bit of sanding using my belt sander, and then by hand just to go all over it. Thank you, Ian, for recommendation. I followed your wise words and I just got this Osmo hard wax oil, so hopefully it will serve me well. And I have to say, I love how the grain pops up. It's just beautiful. I love it. Probably I will never get bored of that view. It's just nice. I'm really pleased how the vise turned out. It's now looking fresh and it operates really nice, and I have to say that final outcome makes me smile. So I'm really pleased with overall looks and performance of the vise, so happy days. However, later on I have decided, as a part of the process, to upgrade vise and introduce some additional dog holds, and I got them from China, and I have to say they perform really nice. And unfortunately I thought at the time that I would be recording this in portrait to make a short, and then I forgot to record anything in landscape view, hence the images. Anyway, if you lasted 28 minutes and enjoyed it, thank you very much for watching. I do highly appreciate it. If you could like, comment or subscribe, that would be absolutely smashing. Much appreciated. So overall, hopefully I will be able to finish the workbench in the next few weeks, and then I will be able to reveal the final build. Thank you for watching and see you next time.